Jalen, you had 4 fouls at the start of the fourth quarter. Were you surprised that the coach put you in at that point, or did you think that he might let you sit for a minute?
I trust whatever Tom Thibodeau goes with. I'm have his back no matter what. I just got to be smart.
Jalen, how do you summarize? You guys had a 14-point lead with 2:51 left to go. How do you summarize how the game closed?
Can't really summarize it. Give them a lot of credit. They closed the game out like they've been doing it all playoffs. Just not really good on our part.
Pretty rare to see a guy like Nesmith hit 5 threes in a row in late game. Just what did you see on the defense from him that let him get those shots up?
I mean, it wasn't rare or a rare sighting. I mean, he can shoot, and but now when good teams, when they have a hot shooter, they find him. So it's just not good on our part, and finding him in transition and him getting open spots.
Pacers stole the game in the last minute. How difficult is to recover from something like this, and we're learning from this?
Tomorrow we watch film and get together as a team and just reevaluate and then be ready for game 2.
The lead was so big with so little time left. In the moment, are you realizing, kind of seeing it going down quickly, and are you realizing how hot he is?
I mean, yeah. I mean, once he hits one, you got to be on high alert, and so I got to do a better job of finding him. And I think he had like 1 or 2 that started it off, and with me in the vicinity, and just not a way to close the game.
Jalen, and end of the game, they started trapping you more, like in the fourth. How'd you feel like you responded in those situations, and what do you feel like you could have done there?
Not turn the ball over and give my teammates a better chance to close out this game. Just turn the ball over doesn't help us. And,
like you got off the ball quick enough?
I feel like I can, but also I feel like I know how not to turn the ball over. And so, just like I said, it's not a good way to end the game.
Kat, how tough is this loss for you guys, and how do you guys bounce back?
I mean, any game you lose is tough, especially in the playoffs. How you bounce back? I mean, you just get back in the lab. Tomorrow we get to practice, watch the film, and get ready for the next one. That's the only way you bounce back.
For either of you, obviously we've talked so much about the nature of the comebacks against the Pistons, the 3 double-digit comebacks against the Celtics. What, I guess, being on the other side of this and the emotional weight of that, I know you were going to say that you want to wipe the slate clean, but just how different is it to kind of be on the other end of it, and just how do you come back from it?
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, when you win, it's the best thing ever. When you lose, the worst thing ever. And so the best way to deal with all that is just stay level-headed and making sure we have each other's backs. Obviously not the way we want to finish the game. But I mean, like you said, tomorrow we're going to have to watch film and get better, and just making sure that we're ready for game 2.
Karl, obviously you're from here. You know the history of the Knicks and the Pacers, although it was a long time ago. Is there any part of you that's kind of aware of the historical similarities between this game and I know Tyrese did the choke gesture, and the same thing with Reggie Miller on the call. Is there any part of you that's thinking about that, or can you process that as a New Yorker?
I mean, it's our job to make history. So we're not here to repeat history. We're here to make history. So that doesn't pop into my mind. I only think about the present and what we could do right now so we can make our own history.
For either one of you, I mean, for 46 minutes, you guys were keeping up with their pace. You guys were kind of meeting their intensity on the glass. Is it hard to, I know probably right now it is, but when you step back and you look at this game, you guys did what you needed to do to win the game until the final 2 minutes. Can there be positives that you take from this and build on it as you go into game 2 and not get too down on yourself?
I mean, we didn't do what we needed to do. We would be coming in here talking a whole different ball game, but there's a lot of things, like you said, that we did good, and we put ourselves in a position to win. It's just about, I've said this multiple times, just executing and being disciplined for 48 minutes, doing that for more of the game than we've done in the last two series. We got to be better, in this series, especially against this team. And, like you said, we played 46 good minutes. Those 2 minutes is where we lost the game, and that's on all of us. So we all got to be better. We all got to step up to the plate.
Jaylen, does the experience in the playoffs of dealing with adversity and overcoming adversity come into play here after a game like this?
Yeah. Obviously, it's not a good feeling, but a lot of basketball left to be played. So we can't sulk. We just got to get better.
Two questions, one for you, Jaylen, and for Kat. Did the referees give you an explanation of why they didn't call goaltending on your drive late? And then the other question is, when Obi, you guys were down 1 and Obi got the dunk, was the plan to let him score right away, or was it to foul him?
To answer your first question, no. No explanation. It's a great question. I think we should have fouled, and we just didn't.
Guys, Detroit had a lot of open looks on threes. Boston had a lot of open looks on threes, and tonight Indiana had a lot of opens on threes. How do you close that gap? How do you defend that so that they don't have those clean looks at those threes?
We got to get to their bodies, stay connected, and they play at a fast pace. They play a space game, and so now when they're driving the lanes, and it's easy to collapse, and then we're in rotation, and then they're lining up open threes. You just got to rotate better and get the bodies better, and just making sure we're connected.
We're obviously up 14 with about 3 or so minutes left. Just what'd you see that let them come back and force OT?
They can score the ball. Nesmith got loose. Haliburton hit big shots. You just can never let your guard down against them. No lead is safe.
Coach, Brunson had 4 fouls. You start him in the fourth quarter. What was your thinking about that?
Just, the way the game was going, and, just a coach's decision.
Coach, on Obi's dunk, at that point, was the instructions to foul or just let him go to the hoop?
Yeah.
Tom, how disappointing is it, I guess, just the team played so well when Jaylen got that 5th foul. You guys went on a 14-0 run. I know that obviously, as we saw, it doesn't end the game, but just that sort of momentum to not close this out.
Yeah, there's obviously disappointment when you fall short, but it doesn't. We have to take a look at the film, make our corrections, and then we got to change quickly for game 2. We got to be ready for game 2, and that's all you look at. So you have to take disappointment and turn that into more determination.
You guys have been on the other side of these in the last series, big fourth quarter comebacks. Just kind of, what did you see? Did you see a common denominator there down the stretch?
Yeah, just, and again, your defense, you got to be able to count on your defense. We missed some free throws. We got to make sure we have awareness as to what's going on.
What do you think was the issue with letting Neesmith get loose at the end of the game?
They got too much airspace, and some of it is transition. Some of it is, coming off pin downs. Some of it, communication. Want to take a look at the film.
Tom, on the other side of the ball, did you feel like guys got a little too loose in the final minutes offensively and a little sloppy with the ball?
Yeah, the turnovers were costly, so and then they converted them into easy buckets, so that sort of fueled their offense. That's what got them going again. They started off the game, in a good rhythm, and then, we did much better as the half went on. And then, down the stretch, we didn't do what we needed to do.
Coach, what do you do going into game 2 Friday to bounce back from this? What do you tell your guys to put this behind them?
Yeah, the same thing. There's a lot of emotional highs and lows in the playoffs. You got to bounce back quickly. You look at the film, make your corrections, get ready for game 2. And that's, when you go into the playoffs, you lay out the plan of how you're going to approach the entire playoffs.
Thanks,
Yep.